Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 292, Opie and the Gypsies. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at Weaver's Department Store. Drop by over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check out all the great Mayberry items they've got there. If you have a Mayberry fan in your house, and if you're listening to this, you must have at least one. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check it out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you each week by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of episode 292 is Randy Bewer and Paul Mulik. We have two executive producers this week. Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting. Great to have you here in Mayberry with me. Every week, we look forward to just spending time. By the way, if you don't know me, I'm the host for the podcast, obviously. You ought to already figured that part out. But I was also the webmaster for imayberry.com. Been doing that for, more years than I care to remember. Somewhere around, 18, a long time. So I've been doing that a long time, and I've been gathering information about the Andy Griffith Show that pretty much the whole time, because I also run a daily email newsletter that you could sign up to called Who's Been Messing Up the Bulletin Board. And we have a lot of fun there. It has daily content about the Andy Griffith Show that's submitted by folks just like you. So head over there and sign up. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can share a lot of Mayberry fun there. So if you enjoy the podcast, you might want another fix or two of Mayberry throughout the week. And that would be a great way to get it. So head over and check out imayberry.com, and you'll be able to find the newsletter section to sign up for Two Chairs No Waiting's original distribution method, which was the Who's Been Messing Up the Bulletin Board Digest. Just email. Well, folks, it's great to have you with me here in Mayberry. And as I said, the executive producers tonight are Randy Bewer and Paul Mulik. And, they didn't, what they did is they submitted content for me to be able to share with you, which is great, because we get to have a little bit of fun here in Mayberry. And this episode, last week, we talked about Howard McNear, Floyd the Barber, a newspaper article that Randy had run across, and he sent to me. Well, guess what? He sent me another one that is a great little bit of history that I think you're going to enjoy. And this one's about Ronny Howard, Ron Howard himself. And the story is called Ronny Howard at the Plate. Now, this is from the Ocala Star-Banner from January 27th, 1965, and it was written by Joan Crosby, from Newspaper Enterprise Association, and she's in New York City. So we're going to get to hear her conversation with the 1965 version of Ronny Howard himself. So now don't expect a whole lot of Andy Griffith Show discussion here, but I think you're going to enjoy getting to hear a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old Ron Howard as he discusses what he loves. And since it's called Ronny Howard at the Plate, you might pick up that it could be about baseball. So let's get started here. This is in New York. This is where this story's coming from. When Ronny Howard found out he was having lunch with another baseball fan, he said, "Mom told me that it was all right to talk about baseball, but not to make it the whole topic of conversation. But you won't mind, will you?" Ronny, the 10-year-old redhead who began playing Opie on the Andy Griffith Show on CBS when he was 6 years old, may be the biggest baseball fan in the country. He's been interested in the game for only a little over a year, but he has amassed an amazing fund of knowledge of both rules and players. Ronny says, I had 625 baseball cards this year. Maybe I even had 630 because I didn't count them at the end. I had all the Dodger cards out in 1964. I don't understand why Murray Willis doesn't like to have his picture taken for baseball cards. Practically all the players do, including managers. When I was doing The Fugitive earlier this year, I had a baseball record book I was reading. I took it on the set and I left it there. I've been I have never forgiven myself for that. It was given, I was given Mickey Mantle's book, The Quality of Courage, for Christmas. It's his version of what courage is. I'm not a Yankee fan, but I do like Mantle. You know what I think would help the Dodgers? If they got Svengel to manage them and gave Alston to the Mets. You know, if you can trade baseball players, why not trade managers? So stop in here a second. You got to remember, this is 10-year-old Ronny Howard. You think of him as Opie, because, boy, that's what he would have been. And doesn't this sound like something Opie would be sitting there talking to somebody about? Anyway, let's get back to the story. Ronny goes on to say here, this is quotes, you know what I think would help the Dodgers? If they got, oh, wait, I already read that part. So you already heard that part. That's if they traded managers. Let's head on down to to the new part. Ronny and his pretty, quiet, red-headed mother, Jean, were having lunch at Tot Shores, the New York Mecca for athletes. Ronny had just been introduced to Ford Frick, the commissioner of baseball, who turned out to be a big fan of the Griffith Show and of Ronny. This is a quote here starting with Ronny. Says, all my friends will be jealous of me when they hear I met the baseball commissioner, Ronny said, eating a steak and French fries. Did you see me getting red when I was talking to him? Later, the commissioner said goodbye to Ronny. The baseball commissioner said goodbye to me, Ronny said in wonder. There is a baseball diamond in the Howard backyard in Burbank, California, where Ronny, his 5-year-old brother Clint of Bailey's of Balboa, and their father Rance take turns hitting a rubber ball. Quote, Dad can hit a ball out of our yard. We have an average-sized backyard. Over in the next yard and then over into that one, the one next to it. Every time I go off to get the ball back, I say, my dad, Willie Mays, hit another one. Clint really takes a hard whack at a wiffle ball, too. And he hit he hit 7 or 8 balls over the fence in one day. I'm going to begin calling him my brother Willie Mays. Ronny plans to try out for Little League this season on his way to a future which combines acting and athletics. Quote, I have a feeling I'm going to play left field. I have a pretty strong arm, but I might play second base. If I make the team, that is. I'm a pretty good baseball runner. I'm a pretty good base runner, and when I get in a pickle, I can get out. Do you know what a pickle is? Well, it's when two guys stand in the base line and throw a rubber ball back and forth, and the base runner tries to steal a base. Most fellas run toward the fellow who has the ball. My method is to run after he throws the ball. I want to stay an actor. I have it figured out that I can play baseball and still act during the off season. If I'm a really good baseball player, I won't need more than a week or of spring training, so it won't take me too much time. Ronny watches the Griffith Show to judge his performance. He said in a brief moment of discussion about acting, quote, when I watch, if what I do could be improved, then I feel I wish I could improve it. If I do a good job, I'm quite satisfied. I'm quite a good critic. Do you think the Mets are going to trade for Aaron? That's the end of it. So in this entire article, which is, a pretty good sized article from, again, 1965, January 27th, I think he talked about the Andy Griffith Show, well, not even that really, about a sentence and a half. The rest of it, he was obviously focused on his baseball career. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun to me to see these. If you run across old articles like this about stuff from the Andy Griffith Show, please email me at floyd@imayberry.com with a link to the story, because I think it'd be fun for the folks here on the show to be able to hear this, because these are history. And, as much as we love the Andy Griffith Show, it hasn't been on the air since 1969. And there's probably a lot of people that actually listen to this podcast that don't remember 1969, even if they are older than that. So, this is, I think this is fun to see how things were going. Now, this was in 65. So I wasn't born until, let's see, this is January 65, till December of that year. So this was before I was born. So anyway, and I'm not young, so this is getting historical, but I hope you guys enjoy that. Now I got another little piece of history for you. Now this one came in from Paul Mulik. Paul Mulik is a regular on the Who's Been Messing Up the Bulletin Board Digest that I mentioned earlier. And Paul has this to say, and we're going to have a little clip of this as we go. Paul says, many will remember the song sung by the Gypsies who visited Mayberry, which went, like this. So you guys remember that song, don't you? Now, this is a color episode, and this is from the episode called The Gypsies, and it was aired in the 6th season of the Andy Griffith Show. Its original air date was February the 21st, 1966. And there's information about that. If you want to go out and read a little bit about the episode, you can head over to Mayberry.info to the Mayberry Historical Society and add to the wiki if you've got some information there. Well, here's what Paul had to say. He said, basically, people will remember this song. And Paul says, I'd always assumed this little ditty was written for the episode. But I recently learned that it was actually from a 1929 musical called The Fortune Teller. Now, that he is right. It is from a 1929 musical Fortune Teller. As I was reading about this a little bit, though, I found out it was actually from an 1898 musical that had a revival in 1929. So, but he was right about the information. It is from the musical called The Fortune Teller, and he goes on and said it was written by Victor Herbert and Harry B. Smith. The original lyric was Magyar melody, meaning Hungarian. I hope I'm saying that. It's Magyar, Magyar, Hungarian. But on the Andy Griffith Show, it was changed to Gypsy melody. The title of the song is Romany Life, R-O-M-A-N-Y, Romany. I guess that's Romanian, Romany Life. And you can find performances of it on YouTube. So if you go out there and look around, you can find it. I'm not going to play it on the podcast because they may be copyrighted and I don't have the rights to it. So there's a little bit of trivia. So you're getting history today and trivia at the same time. Can you believe that? So 2 parts of the episode. We had our history with Ronny Howard, and now we're finding out, well, this is kind of history and trivia combined together. So I hope you guys like that. But it's Romany Life is the name of the original song. And sure enough, that was I went out there and found it, and it was there. Now, by the way, he says, let me see here. I'm going to show this. By the way, we were the Queen of the Gypsies, which you saw in the shot there. The Queen of the Gypsies in the episode was played by, and I'm going to mess up her name, I'm sure. I think it's Argentia Brunetti. There you go. Argentia Brunetti, who is probably best known for her role as Miss Martini in a certain beloved Christmas movie from 1946. Now, I didn't remember this. Now, she is in the It's a Wonderful Life. So I had to go out and grab a screenshot because this is I have found a screenshot of her, and sure enough, when George was getting ready to go off and Mr. Martini was there, she was right beside him. There she is right there in the shot. If you go out and look around on Google and Google her name, you'll be able to find find shots of her from It's a Wonderful Life. I never realized that we had 2 Andy Griffith connections in It's a Wonderful Life. And our Gypsy Queen is one. And if you didn't remember, Sheldon Leonard, he was the bartender on It's a Wonderful Life. So Sheldon Leonard, who was the executive producer of the Andy Griffith Show, was also in It's a Wonderful Life. Another bit of trivia. Jeopardy, here we come. So that is what I have for you tonight. I hope you've enjoyed that. I know I did. I always enjoy getting unusual little tidbits of information that I can share with you. The Andy Griffith Show has been off the air, as I said, since 1969. So finding these little nuggets that I've never heard mentioned, I'm sure they have been somewhere and I've forgotten over my years, but I love to find these things and to share them with you. And hopefully you enjoy them as much as I do. And I would love to hear from you about it. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. I would love to have your voice here on the podcast with me, talking. But if you don't want to do that, you can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. I'd love to hear from you however you'd like to see. If you head over to twocairsnowaiting.com, the website, the contact information is right there on the site. There's a button now that says contact. Click it, and it'll let you get in touch with me, and you can leave voicemails and all kinds of stuff right from there. So, folks, thank you again for spending a little bit of Mayberry time with me this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week right here on Two Chairs No Waiting, your Mayberry podcast. Have a great week.